Department, Government of Assam, esteemed panelists on the dais, thought leaders, policy makers, and students in the audience. A very warm good afternoon to you all. It is an honor to welcome you to this session on Skies of Tomorrow, Aerospace and Defense Manufacturing in Assam, a key discussion under Advantage Assam 2.0 Investment and Infrastructure Summit 2025. Today, we bring together policy leaders, industry experts, academia, and innovators to explore the possibilities for developing Assam as a hub for aerospace and defense manufacturing. We will deliberate on policy frameworks, investment opportunities, and technological advancement that can position Assam as a key contributor to India's aerospace and defense ecosystem. With a distinguished panel of experts on the dais, this session will provide deep insights into the future of aerospace and defense manufacturing in the region. Moderating today's discussion is Dr. G. Satish Reddy, President of the Aeronautical Society of India. Dr. Reddy is the former chairman of DRDO and scientific advisor to the Defense Minister. He has led critical defense programs, including the Agni and Prithvi missile series, and has significantly contributed to India's self-reliance in strategic defense technology. We have with this distinguished panel of experts, each bringing extensive experience in aerospace, defense, and technology. Marshal Rakesh Singh Bhaduria is a retired Chief Indian Air Force. A key role in the Rafale jet acquisition and modernization of India's air combat capabilities. He is currently leading initiatives in defense industrial development and policy advisory for aerospace projects. Dr. Chandrika Kaushik is a Director General Production Coordination and Service Interaction. DRDO has been a key force in developing indigenous defense technologies and strengthening India's defense production ecosystem. Sri Rajendra Singh Bhatia, President, Society of Indian Defense Manufacturers, is the leading expert in defense manufacturing and policy, focusing on industry and collaboration. Professor Parmeshwar Krishnan Iyer, he is a professor in IIT Goa, technology, visible electronics, and organic semiconductors. Research on OLEDs, solar cells, and advanced sensors has direct applications in defense materials and aerospace technologies. Next of our panelists is Dr. Sarang K. Saikia. He is the founder and chief technologist of Spacefaring Technologies. He holds a PhD in aeronautical engineering from Purdue University. His research in space mission design and aero capture system has contributed to advancements in space exploration and aerospace engineering. Next, Shri Prem Kumar Visalvat, founder and chief innovator, Marhontrek Private Limited. He is an IT graduate, alumnus, and an innovator in UAV technology for defense, disaster management, and industrial applications. The last of the panelists is Shri Manas Pratim Kakati, who is the founder of Coptas. He is an award-winning entrepreneur whose company focuses on AI-driven drone technologies and automation solutions that are shaping the future of aerial defense and surveillance. Now, I would request Shri K. Gopinath Narayanan, Principal Secretary, IT Department, to kindly on the dais. Gamosa. today's session, Honorable Minister of Home, Prisons, Home Guard and Civil Defense, Labor Welfare, Tea Tribes and Adivasi Departments, Government of Assam, to deliver the keynote address.
Namaskar, honorable dignitaries, industry leaders, investors, defense experts, and esteemed guests. It is an honor to address you at Advantage Assam 2.0, a landmark event showcasing Assam's growing potential as an investment hub. Under the vision leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Sharma, Assam is undergoing an unprecedented economic transformation, and today I am here to highlight how this progress aligns with the aerospace and defense sector. Over the past decades, Assam's economy has grown significantly, with its GSDP projected to reach US $77.67 billion in the year 2024-25, reflecting 15% growth over the previous year and an impressive CAGR of 12.6% over past 10 years. Assam is no longer just a gateway to Northeast. It is emerging a hub for industries. In the past, Assam has attracted over $4.7 billion in investments, strengthening its position in the global value chain. Major projects such as India's largest semiconductor OSAT unit by Tata Electronics and PepsiCo food processing project underscore our state's strategic importance. This growth is backed by strong infrastructure development, including new Brahmaputra bridges to enhance connectivity, expansion of medical colleges to improve healthcare and education, upgraded road, air and digital infrastructure to facilitate business growth. With these advancements, Assam is well positioned to high-tech industries like aerospace and defense. India's defense infrastructure industry is undergoing driving reliance, turning India into global defense manufacturing hub. In the year 2023-24, India achieved a record crore in defense production, marking a 174% increase from a decade ago. Exports surged to 21 crore, including to reach 3 lakh crore in defense production and 50,000 crore in exports by 2029. Assam stands ready to integrate into national defense supply chain, contributing to India's growing global footprint in aerospace and defense. Assam is poised to become a key player in this transformation. The government of Assam has recently and Defense Manufacturing Policy 2025, with strategic location advantages, business-friendly policies. Assam presents a compelling opportunity for domestic and global defense manufacturers. Aerospace and Defense leaders of Assam. The Empowered Committee of Defense and Aerospace, with the approval of State Cabinet, is ready to seamless and customized initiatives. The government of Assam invites manufacturers, startups, and technology leaders to join hands with us in shaping the future of defense and aerospace manufacturing in India. Assam is no longer a sector. We are actively shaping the country's aerospace and defense future. With our policy, investors, innovation, Assam is set to become a national global leader in this sector. We believe that together with the right partnership policies and people, we can propel India's defense industry towards new frontier of growth and self-reliance. Let us work together to make Assam
which we are sure is going to, our Honorable Minister has outlined, make that into a reality. So let me quickly say, our aerospace and defense manufacturing policy is looking at providing incentives to all of you out here who want to make Assam a place where we manufacture around 4 areas. It will be on defense MSMEs and defense large companies, there are incentives for that sector too. We're looking at maintenance and services happening in Assam, that's the third. And in case you come into a larger category of investor, then we would have custom incentives for you, which will be there to make sure that you are successful in Assam. So, just the next slide, please. So we're looking at a startup, be sure that you'll have seed grants, you'll have go-to-market support, and we will provide you rental subsidy. And there's also a startup fund that the government is keeping in place to make sure that you're funded. Next one, please. If you are a defense MSME, defense large companies, the plethora of incentives that other states have been offering, we are meeting it, we are matching it, and we are probably exceeding it in various places. And these cover the standard of incentives. For MRO, we see a subset of the similar incentives, but be sure, if it's seen it in any other state, Assam is offering that too. And finally, the last one, please. There are customized incentives. So if you still believe that these incentives are not attractive, now frankly, I have not shared the numbers with you because we just got it approved. It will be Gazette notified. It will be there on the website for all of you to see. But my assurance to you is that it is going to be extremely competitive. And finally, as I said, if you're a large investor and you think that some incentives don't really work for you, we can work, the government can work with you to make sure that you have the right incentives successful in Assam. And that's about it. Now I request Dr. Satish Reddy, sir, please take over the panel and enlighten us. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar. Very good morning. And as we are across to all of us, very good afternoon to everyone. Honorable Minister, Government of Assam, our Rupesh Gowlaji, our the Principal Secretary to Assam Government, Mr. Gopinath Narayan, and the esteemed panel members here, and the esteemed audience who are present here. Namaskar once again. I request some of those people can come this side so that whoever comes can be joining. Please come, the people who are there. You are too crowded there and new people are not come because of you. Come this side. I want to say we are already about close to 15 minutes late in our session. So we need to be very, very tight in our whole schedule of 1 hour. So I wish Mr. Gopinath will extend it by about 15 minutes for us, I'm thinking. And so, second is there are esteemed panel members who are extremely busy, but they have come here to spend this 1 hour, and probably each of them will get about maybe 5-6 minutes. All of you to be very attentive and try to listen what they are saying, and then either in this session or after the session, you can interact with all of them. I just take 2-3 minutes and then start the panel discussion. Firstly, Northeast and Assam is very, very important for the defense of this country. Very crucial, very strategic, and what we had experienced in the year 1962. This region is very, very important. This is number one. Second, Northeast region, for the geopolitical reasons, the development of Northeast region, and with Assam as the center of it, the development is also equally important industrially, business-wise, and whatnot, and all that. In fact, we heard Honorable Chief Minister yesterday saying that this is the region which was connecting the entire Southeast Asia to the of this world. That was the situation. So the whole thing, the business was happening through this road. So let it brought back to that glory of being a very rich business. Having said this, the country has been going through a transformation in the area of defense and aerospace, particularly in the last 10 years. Defense manufacturing has gone up, and the indigenous content in the armed forces has gone beyond 60-65% today, and continuously happening year after year. The indigenous manufacturing in the capital goods and revenue is increasing a lot in the country. We started now exporting in a big way. Last financial year, we exported more than 21,000 crores from this country. It has changed. So having said this, it is very important to have manufacturing, the aerospace related manufacturing ecosystem in this part of the country. And this part is distantly connected. It is very essential to have a self-reliance in this region. Whatever we develop, whatever you produce here, try to have maximum everything coming from here. And this is another important point what we need to keep in picture. So once I said this, now the next opportunity to all the esteemed distinguished panel members here, looking at each one's perspective, how ecosystem, when I say that, it is whether research, development, skill development, and manufacturing. All can come up in this area. What are the ways? What are the mechanisms? What are the processes? And what are the difficulties? How we can overcome them? What are those processes and mechanisms what to be created? And that's what I look at each one of them. Now I start with Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Bauria, the former Chief of Air Staff, a very great man for his dynamism known, and has wide experience of being in the Air Force for more than 35 years. And then also he has very specific experience of working with the defense corridor in UP. With that in the background, I'd like to request him, what actually, if the defense ecosystem has to come up and with your specific experience, we need to also
and his team here, dignitaries on the dais, everybody who's here, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning. I think a lot has been covered from Honorable Minister, Mr. Gopinath and Dr. Reddy, in terms of central government, the kind of impetus given, the kind of results already visible. I must really appreciate this great step taken by the state government and to set up this aerospace and defense. It was always thought that it is difficult, it's better not to go there. That was thought from, everybody who was looking at numbers and costs. But times have changed, attitudes have changed, and if you want to ask me, if you just see the steps taken by the state government and what Mr. Gopinath, projected, the kind of incentives given, and the people here and the kind of attention in this aerospace seminar itself. Let me tell you, if this was happening in the north in Delhi, you would have 1/4 the people sitting, in spite of anybody conducting the seminar, just 1/4. So this hall is full, people are standing outside. Times have changed. I think state government has done wonderfully well to bring focus on aerospace and defense, because that's a very important pillar of Atmanirbharta. If you are not into looking after your own defense capabilities and producing and maintaining yourself, we cannot become a world leader. So from that aspect, it's a great time. From my experience earlier, in the Air Force, with industry, particularly the LCA program, and I saw a lot of industry from that perspective, and from the UP corridor experience. I think some things quickly I will summarize what my thought process in terms of sharing with you. A lot of people in the yesterday's inauguration, big and you need anchor industry here to start with. Big DPSUs, and Chandrika ma'am is here, and I'm sure she will go back and support you with that. From DPSU, that means BEL, HAL, BDL, putting footprint here in the defense setup, very important. All the big industries who have promise of the order of 50,000 odd crores, you need to get them to establish a part of that into defense straight away. Even if it is 5,000 odd crores, 5 to 10% of what they promised, goes into one defense unit for the ecosystem to ride and to be self-sustaining in a matter of speaking. Anchor industry is very important, and that is how the MSMEs and get energy. So I think the first thing should be to make them deliver on their promises, starting in the defense sector. Second would be to encourage the MSMEs to start up. State government do a lot. I think what policy that is coming out, it is the best part of most of the policies in this sector. And really efficient and very simple for the new players who are coming in. A lot of players are coming first time. They're looking to establish quickly. They're looking for support. Your support on the funding side, your support on logistics and other issues. Activities have better. It's just the cost, which you're already subsidizing. I think the stage is set where I don't see any difference if somebody is to set up an industry, whether he sets up in Bangalore or Guwahati today. So I think we should grow beyond that. The next issue would come up in terms of how many people get into this. And that's where the support from the players who are successful, like Kalyani Group and many others who you will hear from him, how they have stepped in and what are the challenges. Getting in touch with their supply chain and building something new is I think, the answer. In what happens in terms of investment promises, I see one sector which is lacking, that is new gen and next generation gen. I think Guwahati and Assam in particular can do a huge initiative in that area, and that can start in aerospace and defense. That means all AI and related work, all next generation related work, you need to come out with special skilling arrangements, special ability to provide the next generation, the huge manpower and the trained people that is required. and special incentive to see that that research happens here. I think this is the right step. India is started to do a lot, but it is an open plate at the moment. And Assam is in very good position to launch some of the initiatives in this sector, which will almost help you to become leaders in the country itself, because it is just starting across. And I think that's an area, apart from all related issues, be it space related, be it communication, be it ability to network, and at the end of the day, AI is going to control the next 20 to 30 years how industrialization happens. Okay, and that getting the footprint here would be very important. I would stop here discussion later on because I don't extend too much. The time is short. If there are any questions, I would like to interact. Thank
you. Thank you, Air Chief Marshal Rakesh Kumar Baduria. Now, actually, I request all the panel members, you please take about 4 minutes time. Somewhere you too much, then probably another 30 seconds can be extended. So next is Dr. Chandrika Kaushik, the Director General of Industry, Armed Forces, International Cooperation related activities, what she looks after in DRDO headquarters. Dr. Chandrika Kaushik. Madam, DRDO is the technology generator, and you are the one who build up the industries. You are the one who research, and also working on skill development and developing all that. So, looking at what the points what we have said, what is that you think how the whole research, academic institutes level, then skill development, then design and development here, and all that can happen in this zone is what specifically look from you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. Very, very pertinent points. So coming to how DRDO can contribute to the growth of Assam, thereby leading to the overall economic growth in the country. We have one such research lab focused on the needs of armed forces in the northeastern region. We can use that lab to anchor and understand what are the specific needs besides what we are already doing. Today we are engaging actively with Army on understanding their needs, developing various solutions for them, and then taking it forward. We can use that lab to help us integrate with the industry ecosystem also. If required, a skill development center, a testing training center can be built there. I would suggest that if the initiative can be taken by the state government, we can provide the necessary knowledge partnering to help us establish the one of that in the at Lucknow, and that is coming up beautifully where all the facilities are available for testing, training of the people. We also have 2 centers of excellence in the Northeast region, one at Mizoram and one at Kharagpur. So the academic institutions in Assam can work with them, integrate with them to see how they can also contribute in the overall technology development. Academic institutions are the one which support us in TRL 1 to 3 level of research, and the academic institutions in Assam can integrate with them. Or otherwise also there are multiple provisions available from DRDO. We have 4 research boards, and one of them is looking at the deep niche technologies, and we provide center acquisition of research services directly. The academic institutions can provide that, and extramural research projects which can be taken up by the academic institutions to do work in the niche areas of research. Startups, MSMEs in this area can actively engage with, there are 2 Ministry of Defense schemes, IDEX and Technology Development Fund. Technology Development Fund is steered by DRDO, where a grant to the extent of 50 crores can be provided to the startups/MSMEs in the area of Ministry of Defense. So the challenges are
regularly put out on the website. I would encourage all the startups, MSMEs to look at those challenges, participate in that actively, where not only financial support, but also technical hand-holding by the experts in the area is also available to them. Technologies are available on the DRDO website. These are the technologies that have been developed across the various DRDO laboratories, 40 of them, all aspects of defense requirements. So any technology that you think is required, even if the licenses are not there, we can see how to increase the number of licenses and make it available to the industries so that the industries can work on those for establishing of those technologies in your establishment, whereby you can become a part of the overall manufacturing defense ecosystem. The facilities that are available in the labs can be made use of if you have developed products. Somebody mentioned about that. So that needs to be evaluated. That's a lot of structure, technical expertise for everyone to do that. Those facilities are available in your labs. Once again available on the internet on our website. Those can be made use of. And any help is required. Our Director of Industry Interface is there to support in this respect. I also understand that the Ministry of Education is coming up with the minor degree in defense at the graduate level. So I would encourage institutions available here to see if they could participate in that, so that a broad exposure to the defense technology requirements in the defense domain is available to the students who are participating at graduation level, out ready for going to the industry. Because of paucity of time, but I any have. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. A lot of inputs. Now we have the most important man actually for this session, I consider Nadia, president of SIDM, the industry which is leading the industries here, and also, of course, he is also president in the Bharat Forge. Mr. You heard just now, and also the things. The industries to come up here, or the industries elsewhere in the country to come up and establish. What are the industries to Assam? This is what I want to ask you.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Thank you, Honorable Minister, Secretary. Sir, firstly, I'll start by saying, ye dil mange more, which means I need 30 seconds more. Okay. So coming back to the point, let me start with a saying. We all talked about self-reliance. I would rather use a coin term. Why Swavalamban? Self-reliance does bring you country, but Swavalamban goes one step forward. You need self-reliant, but you also need to have the ability to act in countries today which are self-reliant, not independent. This is what India needs. What we need is not only a self-reliant base, we also need supply chain resilience and homegrown technologies. So what ensures defense industrial base, which we call military industrial complex. Now, what are the two parameters in that? One was technology, which was adequately covered by Dr. Kaushik. But the key point which comes around is the industrial base. What is the industrial ecosystem? Now, very interestingly, you know, ecosystem evolves around strategic positioning, it will evolve around infrastructure, it will talk about skill sets, it will talk about incentives, but something which is not taught in many terms is perhaps the sentiment which governs the industry to take it forward. I'll give you an example on this. There was an IDEX scheme started 7 years ago. Till that time, India had in Startup India 1 lakh startups registered. Not even one, or not one, maybe asking too much, but there were a handful only in defense, and rest were all in e-commerce and other platforms. None in defense, or practically none. What changed? We brought a simple scheme like IDEX Prime. Giving 1.5 crore is all government was giving to the startup. And suddenly, we had almost for getting into startup ecosystem. The total money spent by the government, central government, is only 450 crores. What it changed was not the ecosystem practically, what it changed was the sentiment in the market. So what we really need to do is change that sentiment. And how do we go about changing? Today I visited some people. There's a friend sitting on my right. There's somebody sitting there. Entrepreneurship is not lacking. What is lacking? Then why does he go to Hyderabad? It is that sentiment and ecosystem which brings you there. Now I saw the policy which you outlined, sir. It's a fantastic policy. But the devil lies in the detail. It is the detail which kills the enterprise, not the policy. You give less money, but ensure it is seamless. You give less opportunities, but the opportunities which are given are practical and implementable. That is a long way. So next, the next step which you require, there is in Hindu or Indian culture, there's a pratha called guru. And you can climb the highest mountain. You don't need a guru, but you need a Sherpa. What you need is to provide those. This is what you can do. In fact, doctor center in this place, we can run acquisition to IDEX, we can tell them how to make the time. We can run acquisition courses for them. We can know possibilities to people. And I will open a node of SIDM in Guwahati and seek help. Now, what do we need as the next steps? And I'll then hand over to the next step. There are 3-4 things which can be done. You did talk about policy in provision of capital. Don't give it at 40% rate. His idea is practical. He has realized a prototype, but he can't industrialize. And he at that stage. Provide him funding at that stage. And you did talk about investment. You did talk about make it easy for them to get to the capital. That is the first part. Second advantage which Assam can bring, and this part of the world can bring, is the testing infrastructure. If you provide testing infrastructure, many companies will. You need to provide electronic testing, you need to test ranges. DRDO already has some facilities. Let's do that. Let's try and put all the infrastructure. The third part is all of this is provide 1 lakh technologies and then convert those technologies into a product by providing T-Works. So you have a small workshop where you can action will go a long way. What you need is, of course, large companies, but you need 10,000 to help.
Thank you. We heard from user, we've heard from R&D, we heard from industry. Now we go to the academic. IIT Guwahati is part and parcel of the IIT here, and we have Professor Schreier. I'd like to know how IIT Guwahati can contribute to defense and aerospace here, whether it is research, or whether it is development, or innovation, or skill development. All the academic institutes in the Northeast region for the development of this region, right from skill development to innovations and startups coming up and all that.
So good afternoon to you all. It's a great pleasure and honor to be present as a panelist in this session, and you all time to come to the body and share your views. I also thank our minister sir and Gopinath ji and Preeti ji, who were working tirelessly to get this session, and the hope and the excitement that this hall is filled with. I think that itself shows that we need to do something together for everyone. As an institution, IIT Guwahati, we have been a lot of faculty members, very motivated students. We have sort of 11 departments in the institution. We have 9 academic centers, and we have 5 different schools. Study, that is happening in most of the colleges. So we also have a strong at our institution, and that is our strength. I believe that any industry, any company that wants to come and have across the world is the Tata Semiconductor is coming up. We already have one of the country's second largest clean room facility available with us. All skilling and training for the laborers is happening in hundreds and thousands. Same thing, we also have similarly, we also have a state of the art taking forward in small to large type of work. Our institution. So again, I would like to welcome and do some to add to that, we have an umbrella MOU with the Eastern Command of the Army, and a lot of have been initiated at IIT Guwahati with them. I'm just reading out few of them. One of the biggest projects that we have been doing is on different types of drones. And, we have 2 other startups within IIT Guwahati. So and IIT Guwahati has the country's largest that we are making, and share that the very first skilling initiative that were personnel from all forces, the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Presidential Guards. They were brought in, and around a batch of 60 manpower were trained, and of handholding. In fact, the frame is also involved in other companies. We also have, anti-drone systems in which our institute is working. So that is another area where if there is an interest, then we'll be happy to take forward the responsibility. Communication is one of the very important systems. In electronics, various and systems. So another very important area where in the defense can come and join hands with us. Of course, other important deep tech interventions that are coming up are the big data applications on quantum technologies and directed energy weapon systems, which are coming up in a very big way. Some of the other works which are directly being done with the armed forces in the high altitude regions, developing a system my colleagues have printed, used technology for light, and they can be assembled within 24 hours, taken up to any places by the drones. So this is something coming up. Other technology that my colleagues are working on is on the bamboo-based, high-strength, epoxy-based structure, and I'm happy to share that my colleague in the mechanical engineering department. So she has come here with almost her entire research group, around 10 students have come here, and the hall also probably 10% is from IIT Guwahati. Okay, so I'm very happy, very active. Forward to work and take forward. One last point that I would like to share is on that is coming up in a very big way is the cyber warfare. So cyber security and the way the future war will be fought is have a very strong cyber community. So the future wars will be fought area that our institution is focusing on. So I think there are a lot of opportunities for R&D, plus looking forward many initiatives. As an institution, we can work with different organizations of the defense probably you all would have heard about him. And so many technologies that were developed by him, he really did not focus in New York. So this is almost like and the technologies almost 200 years back. In 24 of those technologies are even used today, without any modification. And some of the technologies, if I tell you will be very surprised to see this machine, so you can IP protection necessary. So entrepreneurs who would like to take up this, develop technologies and IP protection, so we can also help them in that. This opportunity, and I'm sorry that I my time.
I actually request the panelists to focus on actually what else we need from the government and government of India and others. This is what. Now I go to the youngster, the startup, the man from the soil, Sarag, who is here with us and who is working on defense technologies. Actually, as a man who is on the ground, you need to have your own startup here and established and all here. Request, if you don't mind.
Good morning, everyone. I will answer that question from Dr. Reddy in two ways, or two parts, I would say. So probably I'll use the platform to state that my company, we're in Assam, to manufacture multiple critical elements of our fighters. We are already supplying to the Indian Armed Forces, to the Air Force, to Army already, and we are already working with DRDO. So the nose radome of all the fighter jets. So our company is developing end-to-end with all capabilities that those will be manufactured from Assam in the next few months. So I have met the Honorable Chief Minister multiple times. So, and Secretary Sir and Gopinath Sir I have met. So I have one thing up in Assam is because I am an Assamese. I think everything else will be taken care by government departments. I'm pretty sure they have an excellent, very dynamic policy. We're also in an advanced stage, so it's not into R&D. We are already supplying to the armed forces. So I believe, we have everything that I need for my technology to set up. So it could be a small anchor technology. Now, I'm in the US. I am from the US. I spent about 12 years in the US. So let me share a specific example of the challenges of setting up something in a new. So they have the astronaut training facility at Johnson Space Center. Now, Johnson Space Center in Houston is definitely not the best place to set up there, right? So what in US, what we call a constituency-driven program. So where actually the political class ensure that such a thing is actually set up. So I believe that we have a extraordinary prime minister, because of which I am back in India. After having spent 12 years and I was working as a professor, I had to bring my wife as well, who was in the US. And we have a second person who is, our current honorable minister, who brought me back to Assam, right? So these are the two factors. These were tectonic shift in my life, I would say, to make a certain decision. We have much grander plans to do it, but we are starting. We'll deliver something within a year. We should have radomes ready for our Tejas Mark 1A. We are already doing radomes for the Su-30 program, which is undergoing a 65,000 crore upgradation program with radio Gasdic, and then we are working with LRE Bangalore. So we are in definitely urge all the people in Assam and all the well-wishers to support state government as well as us to do it. In terms of, I would echo what Mr. Bhatia mentioned, is the stability of the policy. And the continued support is very important for us to survive. Is going in big scale, but what we are doing are long lead ideas, right? We make something, we do application testing, and we have to wait for airborne testing and certification. Different thing, not many, probably try to do that. So thanks to all the help we're getting from DRDO, Bhaduria sir sitting here. So we are getting all the support, and we'll ensure that this happens. It's not an easy task, but we'll ensure it happens. I think I have already answered.
Thank you. I request Manas Pratim to say. I am again saying specifically to come up here the startup systems. What you need, that you say. Don't say much about what you are already doing.
Definitely. Hello everyone, my name is Manas. Thank you for the opportunity. I will answer this question. So we started 5 years ago. We faced two very difficult problems when we started initially. Number one, sourcing raw materials for a defense or aerospace company. And second, the transportation. If we are sourcing something from Delhi or somewhere from outside of India, it would take like 30, 40 days to come. But in this, after 5 years, it has become so easy. Now things are coming in 4 to 5 days. So that is number one change that has happened. But the lack of raw materials or resources is still opportunity I would like to have some, and second, where we get more is located in an area where we have more Southeastern countries, right? So access to countries, we'll have, if you can have those discussions, because kind of access from, so if the government of India can help us, particular be really helpful for us. Apart from that, I think I had a very fortunate chance to look at the policy as well. So I think it is very well set up because go from lab market, and I think this policy is well equipped to make us and support. After that, I mean, it's only how we so this was my key point. Also, is that how we set up the ecosystem in Assam. I would just take so Copters is a drone manufacturing company. We in Assam. Right now we have all of us have signed MOUs to set up in Assam again. Particularly, we make drones for as well as the borders of Manipur to the POK of Jammu. And we supply drones to Japan. Right. That is all about copters. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to pass the thank you.
Thank you. Now we have the last panelist, Prem Kumar. Request your suggestions, needs, and how we can develop. So you are saying is from in Hyderabad. So how you can come from Hyderabad to Koti is the question.
So thank you, sir, and thank you, everybody. Being a last speaker, I think 99% everybody has spoken what is needed. But one thing what I see is we are in a space where next warfare is been done through air by water. And we have Brahmaputra, fantastic and what you see is that entire country can do testings out of Assam. Like you have to test a drone for 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers. We don't have a test facility in the country itself. I'm saying like in the banks of Brahmaputra, you can have a fantastic testing facility where for 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers can be a test facility here. Or if I have to test some eVTOL for 3 passenger, 2 passengers, I can't do it in a more of a crowded area. It can be on the banks of Brahmaputra or in the like more of in northeastern state. So example of the entire country and industry needs, because every defense forces, armed forces, all the people come and ask us, I need a 100 kg drone per kilometer. But we have not in a place because we don't have place. It's very difficult for us to do a R&D and which is customer is expected in the shortest time. Second is we have a fantastic IIT here, fantastic workshop, whatever the students and professors and everything. Actually, not enough promoted because like the technologists are looking for certain support and everything. We have all those facilities. Just that if you can, sir has asked for nodal agency. 2 years back itself, the Minister of Civil Aviation has come and said, we have a northeastern state, more of technology like a drone, option point of view, and a lot of use cases point of view, where it can be even for defense forces and everything. That's where the lot of armed forces are coming and doing the capacity during their retirement or after the retirement. So definitely we can become a test and R&D center for the entire country. And UAVs, air, underwater, already is underwater technologies. They're doing a lot of technologies for underwater, and but that becomes a good example for us, bringing all the of so everybody can, and being a technical advisor for government here, IT, and all our efforts is to create use them and go market shorter time, and also use all as a network.
Thank you. Now it is open to the people here. We can only take a couple of questions, so I will name them. Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Manas Bhuya. I am co-founder of Avgade Systems. We are a radio frequency wireless technology deep tech startup based out of Bangalore as well as Guwahati. So we make anti-drone systems, radars. Our products are already deployed in the Indian Air Force and the Army. Last year, we've also got a DRDO Dare to Dream Award. So my question to you, sir, is that we have already done the seed strapping or bootstrapping. We are part, I always say part bootstrap, because I pick this up because it's important. Capital is an important part. We are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat. So the issue is there's not much of not much. There's no premium in India. The main thing is the scale premium. But in deep tech, scale will come after innovation, right? You have headed, so that is one thing. Now the space tech, I think 500 crore fund is there. IDEX, we have also been one of the IDEX winners. So if that kind of a risk capital, because the issue is risk capital, right? So that's on that. Happens. See, I was also in the Silicon Valley about 3 months back. So they were asking us, so how come you guys have revenue? How come you're supposed to burn $5–10 million? I said, no, I cannot be a product in India. I did solution, I did cash flow. That's how I worked out, right? So over to you, sir.
Understood. See, this is one of the fundamental issues what deep tech startups have in the country today. The seed funding or the risk funding, particularly early stage deep tech startups. We have been talking to many people, both in the government and outside, how to facilitate this, the deep tech startups, early stage startups funding, and maybe even stage funding also. A lot of mechanisms are trying to be worked out both in... can you keep quiet, please? Hello, you people are talking too much. There are a lot of discussions going on, creating AIFs from the government support and also some internet things related. Probably you will see the things happening in couple of maybe months. Some of the changes will come here. Next one, there. Yeah.
Sir, good afternoon. I am Colonel Avek Goel. I am from the Indian Armed Forces, part of Red Horns Division. Sir, I have a problem also and I have a solution also. The problem related to drones and anti-drone systems, sir. The biggest problem which we face is the indigenous content. Imported from China and Taiwan, so their reliability is very low when we actually test them, sir. And second problem is the
focus on anything specific to Northeast region things, not the generic issues.
Sir, since the two startups, since they brought about the quadcopters, that's why I am mentioning this. Regarding what Prem said about testing, sir. Most of these employed in high altitude areas of about 14,000 feet. We as armed forces can give a platform to test your equipment right in the battlefield itself, next to the LAC, wherein the actual efficacy on ground, and we will be able to validate and give you a feedback as well, sir.
Right, thank you. And the next one, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Arindam Adhikari, based in Pune. We are into manufacturing of electrically conductive polymers. Mainly, we are at this moment working on, we are manufacturing anti-corrosion primer using electrically conductive polymers. But electrically conducting polymers, we have this one composition which shows radar absorbing property also, radar absorbing material. And also. So one of the product also shows radar absorbing property. It can be used as a RAM. So we are trying to...
No. I think you please sit separately with Mr. Gopinath and we can work it out. That is a very specific...
Good morning, good afternoon. It's a wonderful session. Now, design and simulation are the key components of all the discussions you have been doing. Correct? And myself, Prashanta Kumar Das, I'm leading Tawas Labs based out of Delhi, and we have a center in Bangalore. Now, being the 10,000 crore investment, I'm sure there is all this simulation and design organization. The overall ecosystem is ready to do that because my organization 3.5 years, of course, I have a 30 years experience in the same line. So in the design, simulation, optimization, and sustainability.
You got your point. It's a very important point. I think one of the points people have already raised, Mr. Bhatia has raised, Prem also has raised, some of the support facilities, which whether it is a hub or whatever it is, should also have many of these things. There's something like, let's say, Assam Works.
Correct.
You provide all the tools there, design tools, or otherwise even prototype manufacturing tools. So people like you can use, and that center probably can be supported by the IIT here or people. Actually, in making the people like you to use those design tools or actually help you in designing the things, using those tools could be one of the things. That's what we think.
So that's one to put in Assam, not because
I'm talking about Assam only.
Yeah.
Right. Next. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, sir. We are a defense startup from Assam. and based manufacturing here at Assam. So we are into border defense, we are into AI and robotics. We have also been national from DSF. So the problem we face is that we do new inventions. We do for this F1 mode. So is used in
I also raise some query like you. Maybe Madam can answer this.
No, what is it?
No, I don't think there's any solution. If there are 10 number of industries or startups, but technically at the same level, then as per the GFR, you have to go with L1 only. There is no other alternative.
no, about inventions when it has
So then
single
there is
line.
the option of that option can be used by the people who are looking at the assessment of the overall thing. That is also possible.
One more question. Yeah. Can you get up, please? If you don't, can you get up? Yeah. Others cannot see you also.
They don't want you to ask the question.
No problem, we can hear you.
They don't want him to.
Hello, everyone. Myself, Novo Boro. I'm the co-founder of Northeast Angel Network. We do startup and ventures. It's a venture capital firm investing in deep tech startup. Aerospace and Defence Manufacturing in Assam. So my fundamental question is, what are the geostrategic or advantages that you see for heading around the defense and manufacturing?
See, what I said right in the beginning. And strategically, for defense purpose, the Northeast is very, very important for us because you see how many countries are surrounding, and particularly see the 1962 related aspects and see the insurgency activities around this place. So that actually says that this is a very, very important strategically. Now, second, this being far away from the rest of the country and need to have a regular continuous supply chain which cannot be continuously transported from there, you need to have here itself. That is second. Third is this region being counted very prosperous economically. So all these are the reasons why linking aside, any state looks that it should be good and it should prosper.
There were 2-3 questions on funding. So at the government level, we are negotiating with SIDBI to come out with a policy of funding for the startups. But there also, the funding can be two ways, either through the government enterprises or the private AIFs or the VCs, which funding comes in. There, I would also request startups to be a little more realistic in their valuations. Everyone thinks that he's going to get 150 PE. You're not going to get that. So please keep your, I would say, expectations within manageable limit, and funding will be made available.
Thank you. So no more questions. One thing is I'd like to thank all the panel members. I'd like to actually appreciate the Assam government, the Honorable Chief Minister has taken the lead and conducted this, and the interest shown by all of you. I have 2 things. One is all my panelists who have come out with a lot of sessions and didn't have much time to explain them. Can you put it in writing, all your sessions, and send it to Mr. Gopinath? This is one thing what I request all of you. Second, particularly the SIM side, DRDO side, whatever sessions you said, and to take it forward, maybe some government work together, put some novel point, some single point of contact your side, to work with the government and make the things what you said move little with ease, without any much of hassles and all that. And the third also, whatever facilities, hub, and design support, other supports, and working with IIT. This also we need to have a small discussion how to take forward. So first point is, members, probably within about maybe next 72 hours, you can put it and send a mail to Mr. Gopinath. And then probably after that, the Assam government will discuss, maybe having a small group of people discuss and all that, and come out with very specific things and so on and so forth. And thank you very much, for all of you showing so much of interest. A lot of queries are there, questions are there. All the members, at least they are available till 2 to 3 years. Catch hold of them, discuss with all of them. I could say anything, Honorable Minister, like to say a few words closing? No, thank you. Mr. Gopinath, like to say anything? Thank you very much from the panelists here. Thank you all of you.
As we conclude the session, I, Preeti Kumari, Joint Secretary to Government of Assam, extend my gratitude to esteemed panelists on the dais, our Honorable Minister, and all the audience for their enthusiasm and inquisitive questions, and for sharing their valuable insights. The point of contention brought to the fore today is that defense and aerospace sector needs shift from production-linked subsidy to innovation-linked subsidy. The aerospace and defense manufacturing sector with strong policy direction, industry collaboration, and technological advancements is well positioned to contribute significantly to the high growth domain. With that, we move forward to the next bit. Yes, I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly stand for a group photo.